Hello everyone, this is Curtis with Weed Whacker Lawn Care. Hey, I'm back again to share another video with you of doing some lawn care work here. Hey, what this is an old property that I done a lawn care video on some years back, and I was using my gravely on it. And I was just looking back at it and I was thinking about it, and I was like, wow, I remember when I was doing this here property, the customer would always wait till it get into this condition before calling me to come out and take care of it. I don't know why, but they wait till it's I guess into a jungle state, I would say. And man, it was just gonna take some time. Of course, hey, I had to charge them for that. I mean, every time I would go and they'd have it there, because I always explain, hey, it's gonna take some time to get this here all mowed down. And they would agree and pay what I would what I was asking for. I asked them price to mow some of these overgrown lawns down. And I said, well, okay, because this here, well, it would take a lot of time just to get in there and mow all of this here. And I mean, you go over it a number of times to get it all mowed, where that it, into a manager state. When I say managed state, I mean you could come and use a regular push mower once I would get through with it. But after I finished, then they would just kind of, well, I may not hear from them for some months, and when it would get back like that. And what would happen is that I guess somebody would turn them in, like the city would come by and inspect the properties, and if your property is overgrown, then you would get a fine for it, and you had to get it all mowed down so that you would get out of that fine state. The fine is you got to go down to court and all of that. A lot of hassles. But I don't know, the customer would just, I don't know. I know this customer I know they had a lot of properties that they were managing. And for some reason they would let this one here just, I don't know, grow up. Which I didn't mind. I didn't mind. Each time they grow up, they would get in contact with me to come over and take care of it for them. And that's what I would do. And I mean, you would get a lot of lawns like that. And what happens is, when you have a lot going on, you just don't stay on top of managing your properties and everything, and they get out of control, and then you got to find someone to come over and take care of it. And that's kind of way it happened for me on this here property. And I must say, this property here was a very good property. I did make some good income from coming over and doing this property. I mean, I wish it would have been in a more what can I say, a managed state, where they kept it up, where that it wouldn't get like this and you'd have to put so much effort in to get it all mowed down, because it would take a lot of time. I mean, when it gets like this here, you're looking to spend some hours here. I mean, this, I would spend anywhere from probably about 4 or 5 hours sometime on it, going around everything, because you want to go over it and everything. Because what will happen is, I let the customer know that I have taken care of the property, and the customer want to come over and inspect all the work that I acquired, and then they would pay me. It would pay me, and they say, "Oh, okay, great." I notify them, "Hey, I've been over and I took care of the property for you. I mowed it, trimmed up everything and all." And so then they would pay me, and I was like, "Okay, cool." Because it was just a lot of it was a lot of work in doing these types of properties, overgrown properties. And so you have to charge accordingly, because you're putting a lot of effort in and using your equipment and all, drive over there, and it takes fuel for the mower and hauling the mower and all that. So you got to come out. You got to come out of pocket to do these types of jobs. It ain't no easy job as we look at it. It's not easy, because there's a lot of stuff you got to be careful and make sure that there's no can I say debris like tires or blocks, metal and all of that, because you can tear up your mower, tear up the spindles and everything in mowing in these types of properties like this right here. And the thing that would happen with this here property here, where they would have a lot of homeless people. This property is like it's near the city, or is I want to say downtown Houston. It's not too far from there. I'm probably like, I don't know, probably like 3 or 4 miles from the inner city of Houston. And very good location, but to the city. I'm not saying to live in, because there's a lot of homeless people, crime over in this area here. So you have to be very careful working in areas like this here. And I was always looking out, because I did have some homeless people did approach one day and came up on me, but they were very nice. They didn't bother me or anything, and basically they went on about their business and all. But that's still scary. You never know what may be on someone's mind. And I'm saying, when I say on their mind, you know, they may be looking to rob you or anything. So you have to be very careful and looking out and aware of your surroundings at all times, and where your location. Because not just doing the work, it's a lot of work, but sometimes it's some areas where it's just dangerous. It's not a lot of people looking to looking to do good. They're looking to do some bad things, and so you have to be aware when you're out there that those kinds of people may come out of nowhere, and you just scary. It's very scary. But nothing I didn't never have any really problems where somebody would really mess with me. They stay to themselves, I stay to myself, and I do what I had to do for getting this property all mowed up for the customer and all. And I think, I remember one time a guy did ask me something, and I told him, I said, well, the owner contacted me if you want to talk to him. Oh, no. I can call him right now. No. Which he wasn't supposed to be on the property, because if he was on the property, then, he was going to be in big trouble. Matter of fact, I did notify the owner when I finished the property and told him. He said, well, why don't you call me? Because he would call the laws. He says, yeah, I've had problems. This guy's been coming on my property and he's not supposed to be here. And, I call the law, and every time, he would call the lawmans out, they would disappear. Couldn't find them. He says, I said, well, I wasn't trying to get into that. I'm not getting into that. Because you never know. I'm not trying to, what would I say, try to get the guy in any trouble or anything. But, hey, if you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, and I'm notifying the owner for my safety, let him know, hey, I'm over here to do a job and in a safe manner, and I don't want to, I don't want nobody messing with me. And that's just the way it is. I don't want nobody messing with me while I'm working. So I want to get this here taken care of and get away from here. And that's the way it was. This takes a lot of time. You see all of the debris that's overgrown, so I got to make sure that I get this whole property area all cleaned up before I leave, because that's what the customer's paying for. So I want to keep the customer happy. So I'm going to give the customer a good job, and that's basically what I'm going to do. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, I did remember that I cleaned the property up once before. This is not my first time, but I cleaned it up. It was some times back, had everything all clean, and customer called me again to come over and take care of the property. I said, hey, what's going on with all of this trash in here? And he said, well, I said, yeah, it's got a lot of trash bags all over the property and everything. And I said, I don't know. I said, maybe these homeless people have bagged up a lot of trash and stuff and put in there. And, I told him about it. He checked it out, and it was a lot of trash. And so he asked me how much would I charge to come over there and get all of that out of there. And I gave him a price, and I came over, and I had to go to the dump. So I had to load my trailer up and haul all that off. And then he put up a poster sign and all on that. And I think he also let the neighbors know what was going on, so that they wouldn't have all that there. But it was because I couldn't mow it. It was so many trash bags and stuff all over it, and I was like, oh man. But I got it all cleaned up and got that all taken care of. And I remember another time where they're going in that house on this property here, and he had me to board that up, and I boarded up real good. And next time he come back, it was all, well, they took the boards down. I tell you, I mean, that's in the city. I mean, kind of stuff that would happen on that property when nighttime would come. A lot of homeless people would come there. Now, right down the road, there's a shelter that a lot of those homeless people would go to. Some of them would go to this shelter, and some of them wouldn't. I don't know why, but they could go there, get a meal, and they could spend a night, and everything. Get a meal. Or they could take a shower, bath, and everything down there at that shelter. But some of them would go and they would get a meal, but they wouldn't stay there. I don't know the condition of the shelter and all, but some of them wouldn't stay there. They would come to some, house like this here on this here property, and they would go in there. And I mean, it's no running water, no toilet, or nothing in there. And they would just go in there and, hey, I'm like, I don't know, just stay in there overnight. I'm like, it was hard. I was like, wow, that's sad. But things like that would happen. And I was like, wow. And I would see a lot of this going on all over. Had to be very careful in working on different properties, because you see a lot. Sometimes I would run across stuff where they would have I don't know what they were doing, but looked like they would had needles, injecting themselves with stuff. And so I don't know what all they were doing, but I would run across stuff like that. So I had to be very careful when mowing properties like that, because man, it was just scary sight. But guys, as time went on, I mowed this here property, and I mowed it, and I mowed it a number of times, and I get it all cleaned up and everything for the customer and all. The customer was happy with it and everything. And eventually, that kind of played out there as time went by. This here played out for is me coming over. The customer contacted me anymore to mow this here property. So I mean, it was good while it lasted, and that's the way it is in lawn. Doing a lot of lawn care work. Sometimes this stuff will last for a while, and then things changed. And that's what happened, with that one where I didn't mow it anymore and all. I don't know if the owner sold that property or what happened, but I've never been over in that area anymore after I finished it that last time. I never went over in that area. So I'm like I said, I was just looking back in time of stuff that I used to do and take care of, stuff like that, for using my Gravely mower. And as you can see right here, this right here is me using the Gravely mower. I raised the deck up so that I can get all of this here debris mowed down. And a lot of times when I was using the Gravely mower, now I would take and walk over the property to make sure that I could get in there and actually mow it. And I raise the deck up, and then I'm gonna I raise the deck down low so that I can get it all the way down real low for the customer. And that's what they want. They want to cut down low. I mean, it takes a lot of time to cut, triple cut it and all that to get it down. And once I get it down, now it would last. Well, I guess it would last a long time because they would always let it get back into the overgrowth state before it's just growing up like that. I was like, wow. But do I miss that? No, I didn't miss doing this one. This one here was it was a tough job because you just never know what you're gonna run across when you mowing this here property here. I mean, it was scary. It was very scary mowing that property because some of the stuff that rough. And I mean, some of the stuff I can't even tell y'all about that I ran across for taking care of this here property. But those kind of assignments that you would get are very challenging. I mean, it was a challenge. But I would just get in there and I would just do it. Just get in there and do it, get it all taken care of, and go on. And that's the kind of stuff that you would run into when you accept a lot of lawn care assignments. I mean, when this came out by a customer was looking for someone to come out and service the property. And what happened was, I think he had someone, and something happened where they didn't let's say they didn't meet the customer's expectation. He was expecting them to do a lot of stuff and they didn't do it. And so, he was looking for someone else, and that's when he found me. And so when I went in and, told him what I would do everything for, and he said, okay. And, I told him what was what. I said, well, once I get it all taken care of and everything, and you can come out and check it out and everything. We can go from there if I missed anything or, in that nature. And, he came out, he would always be, satisfied and happy with the service that I gave him, And, I was like, wow. And now for me, this one here, it was way across town. This was like, let me see, how many miles am I out from my destination? I'm looking at probably over about 45 miles from my destination to come over and do this here. So, and I would sometimes take on some of these assignments, and over in this area, I wouldn't, I turned down a lot of stuff too, because I was like, It's just too dangerous. It's some areas it's not worth uh, traveling to because I mean it's just so dangerous, and especially right now in this time, it's dangerous. I mean, what can I say? I mean, for me, looking at the news and studying the areas and parts of towns, you would just now I'll tell you guys what I did have. Now I would have like a radar app, and what it is with this radar app is it's tied into like on the police. It's a police radar app, and what it does is it will give you all the information. It's like a shortwave radio into the police, I guess radio system, whatever they have. But when a call, in what neighborhood you in, you can type it in, and it'll tell you like, what type of area you in for. Is a high crime area. You'll hear different, the short radio. You'll hear it switch on and off of it'll say, oh, such and such 100 block, there's a fire, such and such 100 block, there's been a car accident, or there's been a break-in, or there's been a shooting in this certain area and all. And I mean you can plug it in on your cell phone for that radar app, and it'll let you know what you finna get into in that certain parts of town and certain areas. You typing in the zip code, and you can find out everything in that part of town. And I would check that out. I was like, okay, let me check this out. Let me check this neighborhood out before I go over into this area here. Let's see what's going on over there. And you type that in, and so you need to get in there at a certain time and get out of there at a certain time for your safety. And I can't remember that. It's a radar app. It's tied in to the police stations and fire stations, everything. I mean, you find out all kinds of information throughout the city. And I used to would use that when I was traveling and everything, so I would know what I'm gonna what kind of neighborhood that I'm going into, so that I could be safe. And it's like, okay, at this hour and at that hour, and you're like, wow. So it came in very handy, very handy. Now you see here, guys, that's I finished mowing, and so I gotta take down these other bushes and all, and get that all trimmed up all the way around this place here. So I got it. I got everything all taken care of. So as you can see, it took some time, but I got it. I got it, guys. Okay, guys, let me give you a view of the way the property looks after I finish mowing it. As you can see, I got everything all mowed down and everything all trimmed up and everything here. So we're looking all around at it, and you can see I was able to get everything all mowed down real low on this here property here. So it took some time, but as you can see, I got it. I got it. Around the little foundation there, that was all grown up and everything there. And I was able to take the trimmer and get that all trimmed down there. And we'll walk over here and just take a look at this area right in here. You can see right here. So I'm just showing you the side of the house on this side over here. I was able to do it. And it's a lot of other stuff there for us, like debris. Looked like an old pillow that I guess one of the homeless guys probably brought that from somewhere. And they get inside that house, and well, they'll make that their home for the night. They'll come there and stay at night. So, probably when I leave, they'll probably come back. Some of the homeless, as you can see right there. And you can see where it's been boarded up, where it was no, and they just kick that window in, and then they get back in there and all. But let's walk back here to the side, guys. Y'all can see where I was able to get the side of that all cleaned up and all best I could get. There's some there was some gas pipes and something else right in there. I couldn't quite get over there. There was some blocks and all right in there. And as you can see right in this area here, I was able to get the backside of that all mowed down low and all. Now this over here on the other side over there, that's someone else's property over there. But right in this area right here, where what I was taking care of, and I was able to get it down real low and get it all mowed and everything. So you can see all of that right there, the way it looks. Now right in there, I took and put some weed and grass killer for right in there because I they got some kind of debris and stuff off up in there. You can get the mower or anything in there. Even trying to trim it, it was very hard. So I put that weed and grass killer in there to hopefully take care of that portion of that out right in there. And over here on this here side, you can see I got everything all mowed. It was a lot of heavy debris, some overgrown stuff that I couldn't, so I had to take the trimmer and basically trim all of that down. So, guys, I was just sharing this here with you, looking back in time. Y'all take care. I'm out of here for now.